Hey everyone, this is Thyworm and today I want to discuss more Last Epoch stuff to look forward to in patch 0.7.7. The guys and girls from 11th Hour Games got a very solid release schedule of patches filled with new and exciting content. There's so much already announced in patch 0.7.7 and just now the news dropped that we get more items, more than usual even. Let me fill you in on the details and give you my thoughts. The new patch will implement more uniques and more set items. This is next to a new chapter, a new portal, new graphics, new ambient sounds, new wallpapers and new character introductions. But today we talk items. The Last Epoch already features quite a bunch of uniques. Most of these uniques are, however, primarily useful when leveling, because they're simply too low level to be viable for endgame. That doesn't make them useless in my opinion, because leveling is part of the game after all. Uniques like the arboreal circuit rings are great for their movement speed. Storm-tight boots I'm putting on all my characters while leveling. It's such a nice quality of life, and for me personally it is really not that uncommon to walk around being level 25 with only unique items equipped. The game also features lower level uniques that are extremely niche and because of that kind of useless. Boulder Fist if you want to make a stun character, Keeper's Gloves for bees, or the Grimoire of Necrotic Elixirs for a potion based build. I'm really not the best character builder out there, but I see very little use in these items. Finally, there are uniques that are build enabling. They allow you to do something cool. They are viable, or at least somewhat viable in endgame, and you can design a build around them. The Exsanguinous, the body armor that enables a ward build, comes to mind. Frozen Ire, a really decent frost build enabler. The Undisputed, which is really solid for bleed builds. Imagine dual wielding these beauties. Chimera's Essence for the werebear is a crazy DPS increase too. I feel there should be a healthy balance between the three categories I just described. Good leveling uniques, super niche uniques and build enabling uniques. And right now the majority of uniques are leveling and niche uniques. Very few uniques are actually viable in endgame. I think the balance could be tipped a bit more towards viable endgame uniques because it feels so good to find those and you know you can actually enjoy them for a while. After all, leveling gear only lasts you an hour or two before you've reached the point where they're obsolete. The announcement we're getting more uniques is therefore a welcome addition. In terms of set items, the game isn't really in a great state right now. It is cool that they exist and therefore the concept exists of set items in Last Epoch, but boy are these some bad items. Fortunately we only have 2 sets in Last Epoch. The Invoker set, a 3-piece set, 2 rings and an amulet, offer you shock and flat lightning damage, ignite and flat fire damage, and less cold damage taken and 50% increased duration of snap freeze. Set bonuses are 20% more damage of a certain element, but only if you cast a spell from another element, and the 3-piece bonus is 500 elemental protection, which is actually kind of nice. This set does beg the question what the devs had in mind exactly when designing this. 20% damage increase is very weak. The individual items are also very weak. The builds you would need to run would rely on 3 types of elemental spell damage, which really hurts gearing your character. Using this for anything, even at low level, is pretty much not viable, apart from some nice flat damage on these items. The whole thing falls off extremely fast however, and then it disappears back into the stash. The other set, Isadora, is another 3-piece set, with gloves that give flat cold damage and chill chance, a belt that provides a ton of armor and cast speed, plus some health regen, and a helmet that provides glancing blow, health and stun avoidance. It's so random. Set bonuses are increased necrotic damage when hit and mana efficiency for necrotic abilities. One of the main issues with these set items, actually the issue with them, is that they're weak. And they're weak because most of these items don't even use all the affix slots available. The amulet only uses 2 affixes. That is super inefficient compared to even a poorly crafted item with just 4 tier 3 affixes. An item like that would give you much more stats to work with. It seems that the set items just exist to show you that they're planning on having them in the game. Maybe it was used in a bit of marketing as well. The game has set items, who knows. And I also don't mind them being this bad honestly, because it's early access and to me it's valuable to know that set items will be in the game. And at least they put in a bit of effort to let us experience what the set items are like. But now, ladies and gentlemen, the opportunity has arrived for 11th Hour Games to redeem themselves and give us fun, good set items. They teased a 3-piece set, the Forgotten Knight. I'll display the amazing amazing art on screen and will do a prediction that this is a Void Knight set given the purple color and rather creepy looking design. I'd be very surprised if this was meant for a paladin, just saying, although set items so far aren't locked to classes of course. I'll speculate a bit more and say this is a tower shield, which would be a shame because that's a low level shield which would make this a low level set item. The curved weapon is maybe an Eastern blade, which is also a low level item, or a falchion, same thing. I do hope however that it is a deicide sword, honestly, level 68 plus, but I very much doubt that. The shield could be a Solarum shield, level 67 plus, but the shape is more in line with a tower shield. The amulet can be anything of course. I just hope this set item is somehow useful because it looks astonishing. Last but not least, from patch 0.7.7 onwards, uniques and set items won't be available from the vendor anymore. This feature got added recently. It was never part of the patch notes either, but it was a nice addition that you could get uniques from a vendor, because we're still in early access and for me it is super useful just to be able to buy these things and test them out for builds. All of that isn't happening anymore unfortunately. The same is true for idols, no longer available from the vendor soon. I get the perspective of the developers that want maybe to dissuade people from logging out and in again and refresh the vendor that way and just basically buy their way into good gear rather than playing the game. On the other hand, it does allow for easier and faster testing. I think an argument can be made for both cases. At least from 0.7.7 onwards, crafting will be more prevalent again and running the monolith for good loot will be necessary. That's worth something as well, and it allows for player feedback that is more in line with how the game is supposed to be played once it releases. Patch 0.7.7 is going to be amazing. I'm looking forward to playing this, and it will release later this month. Follow me on Twitter at Thyworm. Thanks so much for watching once again guys, and I really appreciate the support as well. Thank you so much. Also thank you for making it to the end. See you soon. Bye bye.